Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to another Fallout 4 mod review. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I did, and if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, then I at least hope you had a wonderful start to your holiday season. Now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with today's mod. Today we are checking out yet another single shotgun by Ronnie Magnum. And that is the actual name. It is yet another single shotgun, as there are a couple out there already, but this one comes with some nice, beautiful custom models and textures, as well as some really cool unique variants that you can find out in the world with some treasure hunting, which is always a nice touch for mods like this. Now, the author Ronnie Magnum is actually the author of one of my favorite pistol mods for Fallout 4, being the 22 long rifle silenced pistol from New Vegas, and this mod is going to add yet another New Vegas weapon into Fallout 4, which is always a fun thing to see. So, the newly added single shotgun will be added to the level list. You'll be able to start finding it in the beginning of the game, as it's going to pair pretty nice alongside the double barrel shotgun. The stats are going to perform pretty similarly to the double barrel shotgun, though it is going to be single shot as opposed to two. So, every time you shoot, you are going to have to reload. Speaking of reloading, this is going to use vanilla animations, of course using the double barrel shotgun animations, though it fits perfectly fine and I see no issues with it. And of course, there are also a handful of modifications that you can attach on this guy at a weapons workbench. So let's go ahead and jump right in game and check out the animations as well as the stats available for this weapon. So starting with those animations, like I said, rather than custom animations, this does use animations that are already in the vanilla game, but they fit just fine. But we'll go ahead and take a look so you can see exactly what you're getting when you download this mod. So here we go with the reload animations. As you can see, it just repurposes those double barrel animations, but they look perfect. You wouldn't really need any custom animations for something like this, as this works just fine, and the model itself looks absolutely wonderful. Now, another touch on animations is something very minor, but when you ADS with this thing, as you can see, despite having a rear sight, you just use the front post. Very minor nitpick, it's just curious as to why they don't line up, but the sight is accurate, so if you line up that front post, you will hit whatever you're aiming at. Just a little bit of an artist's choice, I suppose, to use only the front post. Regardless, still a wonderful model and works just fine. Here we get a nice look at the entire weapon as we go into the stats. Really quick, I do just want to point out that this is a really nice custom model and texture. Rather than doing something as simple as just altering the double barrel mesh into a single barrel, they actually made a completely new model, which is very much appreciated. So the stats are going to be as follows. It has a base damage of 45, same as the double barrel shotgun, has a fire rate of 3, a range of 71, an accuracy of 46, a weight of 8.2 pounds, a value of 30 caps, and of course it is shooting shotgun shells. So pretty interesting, it has the same base damage as the double barrel, but a much lower fire rate. And this thing will start spawning, like I said, in the very beginning of the game alongside that double barrel shotgun, so you will have some nice variety in the raiders that you encounter. Now then, like I mentioned earlier, there are actually 3 unique weapons added with this pack, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the locations if you would like to know them. Now, if you don't want the spoilers, go ahead and skip about a minute into the video, and you can avoid any spoilers of the locations as well as the weapon effects. But for now, we're going to go ahead and jump in and talk about each of these locations. So, spoiler warning out of the way, let's go ahead and get right in with the first unique. Alright, the first unique is going to take you to Rocky Narrows Park, and the weapon that you're going to find is the Safari Rifle, which can be found on this here bunk bed. This guy is going to let you embrace your inner hunter and gives you 25% more damage, and this thing has an absolutely beautiful texture on it. The wooden parts have a nice zebra pattern, and the metal parts have a really cool design on it. Don't exactly know the name of it, but it looks mighty fine, and this thing is a really cool addition as a unique rifle to put on your wall. The next unique is going to take you over to Neponset Park. Once there, you can find this cabin that does have a locked advanced door. Once you lockpick it open, you will find the chest for this area as well as the red barrel. This thing is going to give you an additional 30 points of fire damage, a reference to the red explosive barrels commonly found in FPS games, and this thing has a nice red rocket skin as well as a flammable and no smoking sticker. This thing is really cool and a nice way to integrate some fire damage into your shotgun. And then the last unique is going to take you to Lake Kawana Poet. Right at the top of the lake here, there's going to be a little shack surrounded by some mirelurks. In here on the desk, you will find Moot's Shoot and Loot with a nice 4chan skin and a little Pepe on the side. This is going to have critical hits that cause the target to frenzy. Now, there is actually an additional version of the mod that will remove some of the meme versions of this weapon, so if you would like a more lore-friendly version of this mod, that is an option, but if you want all of the skins, you can just download the base version. Alright, now that the locations are out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about some of the attachments available for the single shotgun. This thing is pretty basic, it is just a single shot shotgun, there isn't a whole lot going on here, but there are still some cool attachments nonetheless. Starting with receivers, we have our standard allotment with the standard receiver, light and heavy frame, the calibrated receiver, hardened receiver, hair trigger, powerful, calibrated powerful, and of course the advanced, bringing you to a total damage of 78 compared to the vanilla 45. We do have some barrel options. We have your standard barrel as well as a sawn-off barrel. And then we have some stock options. We have the standard stock and the heavy stock. Won't change much in regards to the visuals, but it will give you some better bashing damage due to its increased weight. This will require Big Leagues 1, pretty interesting way to integrate a melee perk into a ballistic firearm. Alright, now we move on to the damage test for this weapon. And we're actually running 4 tests today, believe it or not. I do have some different variables that I want to check out. Starting with the very basic standard version of the weapon with no damage modifiers whatsoever, using the base damage of 45. Then the advanced receiver on said weapon. And then we'll do the advanced receiver on the Safari unique type, as that thing is going to give you an increased overall damage, and that will give you kind of an idea of the max potential for the basic weapon. And then one more time with that advanced Safari, but with the maxed out Rifleman perk to see what exactly you can potentially do with this weapon in the late game and how far it will carry you. All of these will be tested on a basic Deathclaw, so my guess is we're going to have to fast forward through a lot of reloading. Let's go ahead and start. We have our 4chan weapon right here, but it does have the base damage, so it should be a pretty fair guess as to what this thing's going to perform like with no attachments. Let's go ahead and start by shooting this Deathclaw and see how many shots it takes. Not too shabby damage. This definitely wouldn't be my first choice, but we'll make it work. Alright, last shot. So with that, I counted about 14 shots, which honestly isn't too bad when it comes to cutting down a Deathclaw. But keeping in mind that you have to reload after every single shot, that makes this thing pretty weak. Though it is intended to be used in the very early game, so that's kind of to be expected. Let's see how we do though with an advanced receiver. And bringing it down to the last shot, we have 7 shots to put down a Deathclaw. Much more reasonable. Now, I'm curious to see how we do with that increased damage from the Safari rifle. Let's see how we do. And that one puts it down in 5 shots compared to the 7. Pretty nice little damage increase. Now, our final test, we're going to use this rifle again with the maxed out perk. This should take us down to about 2 or 3 shots, which is not bad. So, realistically, you would be running perks. Let's see if I'm right about our guess as to how the damage will do. And it looks like it's going to be 2 shots. So, maxed out receiver on the Safari with Rifleman maxed out, you can put down a Deathclaw in 2 shots. And realistically, that's how you would use this thing. You wouldn't be running it with no perks and no attachments. So, not too bad for a single shotgun. Pretty cool little weapon mod. So yeah guys, that is the single shotgun by Ronnie Magnum. I highly encourage you to go check this one out, as well as some of Ronnie Magnum's other weapons, especially that 22 Silence Pistol. I really love that thing. So, if you want to give this one a shot, I will have it linked down in the description below, along with an Xbox link if it is available. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoyed the mod. If you did, don't forget to drop a rating, subscribe if you haven't already for more videos just like this, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace! And really quick, I'd like to make a shout out to all of our patrons. Your donations are greatly appreciated and really help to support the channel and videos just like this one. So again, thank you.